Have you ever pondered the significance of quality control and process improvement? Quality control occupies a pivotal role in process improvement, working much like the rudder of a ship, steering the process towards optimal efficiency and cost reduction. Without quality control, the process could veer off course, leading to inefficiencies, increased costs, and dissatisfied customers. With quality control, however, you're ensuring that your process remains on track, delivering the desired outcomes with consistency and predictability. The 7 QC tools are the compass that guides this quality control ship. They provide the necessary insights and data to make informed decisions, identify bottlenecks, and implement effective solutions. These tools have been designed to ensure that your process improvement efforts yield tangible results, translating into cost savings, improved efficiency, and increased customer satisfaction. In the world of process improvement, quality control is not just an option, it's a necessity. One cannot underestimate the power of quality control in fostering a culture of excellence. To comprehend the efficacy of these tools, let's delve into a real-life case study. Picture a bustling manufacturing company, a hive of activity where every second counts. However, beneath this veneer of productivity, the company is grappling with a pressing issue. Quality. Product defects are on the rise, customer complaints are mounting, and returns are eating into the bottom line. The management is at their wits' end. They've tried tweaking procedures and introducing new protocols, but the problem persists. It's clear that a comprehensive, strategic approach to quality control is overdue. Enter the 7 quality control tools. These tools, when correctly implemented, offer a systematic approach to understanding and resolving quality issues. They promise not just a quick fix, but a sustainable solution. So how does our beleaguered company respond? Do they embrace these tools and turn the tide? Well, that's what we're about to find out. The company's survival hinges on their ability to improve their quality control process. The Pareto chart is the first tool we'll explore. This simple yet powerful visual tool helps us identify the most significant issues in a process. Named after Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto, the Pareto chart illustrates the principle that a small number of causes are responsible for a large majority of the effects. It's a type of bar graph where issues are ordered from the most frequent to the least frequent, allowing us to focus our efforts on the problems that have the most significant impact. Now let's consider our case study. The company used a Pareto chart to pinpoint the major issues causing the most problems. The chart highlighted that a few key issues were causing a large percentage of the defects. This gave the company a clear direction on where to focus their improvement efforts. By addressing these significant issues first, the company could see immediate improvement. And that's the power of the Pareto chart. It helps us prioritize our actions for maximum impact. Next, we'll examine the cause and effect diagram, often referred to as the Ishikawa diagram or fishbone diagram. This tool is all about identifying the root causes of a problem. Picture a fish's skeleton. The head represents the issue at hand, and each bone leading to it signifies a potential cause. The beauty of the cause and effect diagram lies in its simplicity. It allows teams to visually map out the various potential causes of an issue, making it easier to pinpoint where things are going wrong. Let's circle back to our case study. The team began by placing the identified problem at the head of the diagram. They then brainstormed potential causes, grouping them into major categories, and added these as bones to the diagram. This enabled them to identify the root causes of the issue, leading to a clearer understanding of what was driving the problem. Identifying these root causes is the first step towards effective problem solving. Now let's move on to stratification. This third quality control tool is a method of data analysis that splits information into smaller groups or layers. Picture it as a way to organize your data into neat little compartments. Stratification's role is vital. It helps us see the forest for the trees, so to speak. By breaking down complex data into manageable chunks, we can identify patterns or trends that may have been obscured by the sheer volume of information. Consider our case study. The company was grappling with a multitude of data. By applying stratification, they were able to categorize this data into distinct layers: raw materials, production stages, and finished products. This process revealed patterns that otherwise would have been buried. Through this, they discovered critical areas that needed improvement and were able to act on them effectively. In essence, Stratification brings clarity and direction to the problem-solving process. It's like having a flashlight in a dark room illuminating the path to quality control. The check sheet is our next tool. A check sheet, in essence, is a structured, prepared form for collecting and analyzing data. It's a manual data collection tool that helps you collect data in real time at the location where the data is generated. The purpose of the check sheet is to present data in an efficient, graphical format. It allows for easy recording and interpretation of data, making it a valuable tool in the quality control process. Now let's delve into how this tool was utilized in our case study. The team used a check sheet to gather and organize data related to the identified issues. By systematically recording the frequency of certain problems, they were able to visually categorize where the most significant issues were arising. This data collection and organization process provided a clear picture of the problem areas, thus enabling the team to prioritize their improvement efforts effectively. A check sheet simplifies data collection, making it easier to spot trends and make improvements. Let's now explore the histogram. This QC tool is a type of bar graph that visually presents data distribution. Think of it as a snapshot of data that gives you a quick overview of the situation. It's like looking at a cityscape from a bird's eye view. You can see the peaks and valleys, the highs and lows, and the general layout of the city, or in this case, your data. In our case study, we used a histogram to represent customer complaints. Each bar of the histogram corresponded to the number of complaints received in a specific category. The taller the bar, the more frequent the complaint. This visual representation made it easier to identify which issues were causing the most dissatisfaction among our customers. By using a histogram, we were able to see the big picture quickly and focus our improvement efforts on the areas that mattered most. Remember, a histogram turns complex data into a simple visual, making it easier to understand and act upon. Next up is the scatter diagram. This tool is a powerful visual representation that allows us to identify and understand relationships, if any, between two different factors. Imagine it as a field of dots, each representing a unique pairing of two variables. The positioning of these dots can reveal patterns and correlations that might be invisible otherwise. In our case study, for instance, we used a scatter diagram to explore the potential relationship between the temperature of the manufacturing process and the number of defects in the end product. By plotting these two variables on our scatter diagram, we were able to discern a pattern. As the temperature increased, so did the number of defects, indicating a positive correlation. This insight was invaluable, enabling us to focus our improvement efforts on maintaining an optimal temperature, thus reducing defects. In essence, the scatter diagram serves as a flashlight in the dark, illuminating hidden relationships that could hold the key to process improvement. A scatter diagram helps us see the bigger picture by highlighting relationships between variables. Finally, we have the control chart. This tool is a marvel when it comes to monitoring process variation over time. The control chart, in essence, gives us a bird's eye view of how a process varies over a period of time. It's like watching a movie of your process, where you can see the highs, the lows, and everything in between. In our case study, the control chart played a significant role. It was used to monitor variation in the production process. Over time, it provided a clear visual representation of how consistent the process was. It revealed patterns that might have been missed otherwise and highlighted when and where the process was straying from the norm. The beauty of the control chart lies in its simplicity and its power. It provides real-time feedback, helping us to make immediate corrections if necessary. And there we have it, folks. A control chart allows us to maintain consistent quality by monitoring process variation. In summary, each of the 7 QC tools plays a pivotal role in process improvement. From the Pareto chart that helps prioritize problems to the cause and effect diagram that aids in identifying root causes, each tool is a powerhouse in its own right. Stratification allows us to segregate data to understand patterns, while the check sheet provides a simple and effective way to collect and analyze data. The histogram visually represents frequency of occurrences, and the scatter diagram illustrates relationships between variables. Last but not the least, the control chart, a beacon of stability, helps monitor process variation over time. In the case study, we saw how these tools were effectively applied to drive process improvement. Remember, quality control is not a one-time effort, but a consistent and continuous process. It's about making small, incremental changes that lead to a significant impact. With the right tools and approach, any process can be improved for the better.